Welcome back to Catching Up with Katie. So we are all really tired, and I am smiling through it. It's fine. And we have a new face. Well, actually, a couple new faces. You're not new. You're an old face. But we do have a new face behind the scenes here. So Buck, hi.
Hello.
This
How's
is
it going?
this is Buck Morgan. He is a new part of the team. He's actually part of Matt and Nate's team, so he's just going to be here hopefully all the time now. Give us a little backstory on what you're going to be doing, and just like the ladies on Snapchat like you, so we also need just like a bio for that as well.
Yeah, my name's Buck. I'm from Mississippi. I've been in photography for 7 or 8 years now. I was doing a lot of real estate photography originally, and then I was actually shooting his house whenever he kind of told me about this job with y'all and was like, would you be interested in that? I'm like, oh, that sounds so much better than shooting houses going
Such
out
a
there.
Matt move.
Yeah, and I was like so grateful for it as well. So now I get lucky enough to come out here and, shoot the podcast, shoot all the animals, do the days in the lives with y'all, Foal watch, all that good stuff.
What's your thoughts been on Foal watch so far? There's been no Foal, by the way. At this point in time, there's been no Foal. I really hope
that we prepped him the way that we did.
Yeah.
I really hope
was
by the
under-
time
he
this
was-
airs.
He was under no misconceptions about full season.
Yeah. He let me know. He was like, be a lot of nights, a lot of days. And I was like, I'm up for it, man. I'm good to go. I'm ready for it.
And I think it's become a trend where first Foal of the year, I jump the gun.
Yeah.
As you know, I can barely leave the farm because I have so many foals being born and I can get a little stir crazy. Each year, the crew and I try to find ways to keep busy. Last year, we learned how to play chess. And this year, we've been playing Big Farm Homestead. Especially during foaling season, as it can be so busy, it is great to be able to have a game I can play to wind down at the end of the day. Some games hype you up, but this one really calms you down. I've been playing Big Farm Homestead in the evenings when I want to switch off during this foaling season. It shows open fields, warm sunsets, cute cows, and you're just restoring this beautiful countryside farm at your own pace. It's so fun being able to build and design a farm and to help make it thrive every day, just like my own. Big Farm Homestead is like being on my own farm, but without the stress. You can download it for free now on iOS and Android.
Last year it was like weeks.
Hey now.
It was.
Hey now. No. Kennedy was 10 days. Kennedy was 10 days. We are on tonight will be night 7.
Okay.
So we're not there yet. They say it was weeks because of Karen when Squirt was born. By the way, she owns Squirt now. And so, because Karen went to day 355, but it was different then though, because we didn't have this finished in here, and it was like they were staying in the Airbnb, and so it didn't feel quite the same, but they were still away from home. Like, so yeah. It was full watch, but yeah, so we're on night 7. I really hope by the time this airs, we have a baby. Or, I mean, we could have a couple at this point. We have like 4 mares after 320, right? Like today's Coco's 320. So the mini, we could have two or three other mares before Raven at this point. So she's overdue at this point.
Yeah.
That's the other thing, is that last year we didn't have a single mare make it to this point in their pregnancy. So I don't know.
Just Karen.
That was 2 years ago. Squirt's about to be 2.
God, he's about to be 2. Old
I
man.
know. That's what I'm saying. It's been so long ago. We haven't had any mares make it to their due date. Anyway, so Buck's a new part of the team. That's gonna be super exciting. But what a Matt move to, like, in the middle of having his house's pictures taken, be like, hey man, you want a job?
Pretty sure I just got off the phone with Nate and we decided that we needed another guy, and he just fit the bill. He was young enough, tall enough,
Handsome enough.
black hair. We had an idea of what we were looking for, physically. So he
Also-
fits the bill.
Okay, if y'all haven't been tuning in for like the lives, you came for 10 minutes of a live and we're like, I'm out.
I mean,
I'm ready to go.
I have a full. Not that Matt and Nate do not, but I had to get home to the
We
family.
got families that matter.
No.
But
No.
we've been playing Dungeons and Dragons on live while we wait on this fall. So we got through a whole campaign because it's been that long. And that was another like big win on your part, is that he came in already being a Dungeons and Dragons nerd.
Yep.
And he jumped in mid-campaign and took over one of the villain arcs. So my character doesn't like his character, but it's fine. Like, I keep having to get out of Shadowheart because I keep being mean to him. And then I'm like, it's just Shadowheart. I'm sorry. It's not me.
He
She's
may
gonna
not
say
be
that in
around
like
for too
6
much
months
longer.
too.
He may have a
Anytime I
different
say
guy.
something catty, That was Shadowheart.
Yeah.
Wasn't me.
It's our default now.
Yeah.
We are being such nerds though, because like within the game, if you want to do an action, you have to roll for it, you know? And so now every time we're like, hey, y'all want to do this? We're like, you want to roll for it? Like, it's so dumb. But anyway, that's just what we've been doing. We've been just up all night playing Dungeons and Dragons, getting our work done during the day, not sleeping a whole lot. So with that being said, we didn't have a whole lot of brain power coming into this episode, and I relied on y'all's brains. And then I called in Rebecca and I said, hey, how quickly could you get over here to do Catching Up with Katie? And she was like, I literally just got out of the shower and I'm going to pull up this picture. I'm going to pull up this picture that was sent to me because
30 minutes ago.
This was 30 minutes ago. I was sent the before, but you're seeing the lovely after. You pulled it
It's
together
slightly
so
better.
quickly.
It's a little better.
So we are so grateful that you were able to pop over here. That is the good thing about you living 5 minutes away. So a lot of people had some questions for you. We have some other things coming as well within this episode, some news, but just a couple questions
Let's do it.
to satiate your fans.
Yes.
You have fans. Okay, so I guess maybe it's because you're best friends with an only child, but you were giving only child energy.
I do?
And then people were shocked that you have a brother.
Yeah. People have said that before, that they're shocked I have a brother.
Mm-hmm.
I think part of it is I don't put anybody on my social media that's like not me or Evan, I feel like. So I do have a full family. I have parents, friends, siblings, all of that. They just aren't part of what I do. So yes, I have an older brother, big Dungeons and Dragons guy, like literally goes to like a weekly meeting. So he tried to teach me like 10 years ago, but it was on paper. So I wasn't into it.
Well, also you're like, I think it's more of a shock also, even like you have a sibling, that you're not the older sister. That's shocking that you're not the older sister.
I do tell my brother that I am our father's strongest son. So she knows my brother and knows that's factual.
Well, he's like 6'4" and this big burly man, but it's still factual.
Yeah, he's a big teddy bear. And so if he needs anybody to like come in and fight his battles, he calls in the big guns. But yes, I do have an older brother. He is 4 years older than me. And yeah, he's, like I said, he's 6'4". He has bright red hair. We look nothing alike.
I wanted you to have a redheaded baby so bad.
Not that there's anything wrong with having red hair, but our whole life.
She's been mean to him about it his whole life.
He would pick on me, and like the end was just like, well, you have red hair. So like, that was like my last comment. So as soon as he found out I was having children, he was like, they're both going to be redheaded. And actually I would have loved that. Can you imagine them with red hair?
I could so imagine Kinsley being just like,
He's so beautiful.
yes.
But yes, older brother, but I am the oldest sibling.
Okay. They want to know, no men, our dream vacation.
Our dream vacation, no men?
No men. I don't know. This could go multiple ways because we've been on multiple vacations together. You know what? The vacation we haven't been on together?
A tropical.
A tropical.
Yeah.
We've done like the trail ride in Colorado. We've done the
like mountain
fishing, mountains, cabin type things. We're going to go to Vegas this year.
Yeah, we're going to Vegas this year.
That's our trip this year because we were like, hey, we can't do a freaking week. We can't do a long thing. We just got to get away quick. Where's somewhere we can get away with little to no planning?
Yeah. Vegas,
baby.
no planning.
So we're going to go to Vegas. And that's the thing is like neither one of us are like partier, gambler, drinker, like, but still I think we could go see some shows.
I think just walking around. It'll be something different.
Have you been? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
This.
I went to Vegas when I was pregnant, so.
She told me, she was like, because she's fertile myrtle. So Kinsley, they'd like planned. And so she was like, hey, I think I'm going to plan to get pregnant in May because you have that luxury. We're like, I'm going to get pregnant on this date. And so you're like, I think I'm going to get pregnant in May because we're going to Vegas in April. And I don't want to be sick because she gets like deathly ill when she's pregnant. And I was like, okay, well, 2 weeks before her trip, I just get I'm pregnant, ... text.
Yeah, it was not a fun Vegas trip pregnant. I would not recommend going to Vegas pregnant ever. The smells alone will take you out.
Yeah.
You can't do anything. What was that?
I said I can imagine.
It was pretty rough. And we stayed on Fremont Street, which I think is a little bit stinkier than the rest of like we were in a non-smoking room that just meant they hadn't smoked in it like that day. Like it was so smoky. It was brutal. It was a rough trip.
Have y'all been to Vegas?
Yeah, I went 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Fremont.
Were you pregnant?
No, well,
Okay,
not
I didn't.
at that moment. I wasn't. It
So
does
I'm-
have a lot of smells, though.
Yeah, and when you're pregnant, like everything smells really weird. Like
Yeah.
I can remember I used to open my fridge every morning, and the fridge smelled fine. I made so many people smell my fridge, and I would just open the fridge, like every day. Everybody said there was no smell. I could smell it. It smelled like an old lunchbox.
And my wife.
Ugh, ugh.
Yeah, it was bad. So
Um,
Vegas just smelled like sweaty people and cigarettes.
Well, we want to go back.
That
I want to go back.
that all
I
there
wanna
is.
smell it.
Well, let's go, baby.
But dream trip. I don't know. We're not like super tropical gals though.
I do love a do nothing day though, and so like I
Yeah.
feel like that is one thing that I feel like every trip we've ever gone on, we're like itinerary. What are we doing? Where are we going? What are we booking? I help figure out what we're doing.
I think we should go to Blackberry Farms.
I have the in there. I have an in there.
At Blackberry Farms?
Yeah, me
Why
and
am I just not
me
hearing
and
this?
me and their main marketing gal are this.
That's like my dream trip.
like for
Well, how am I
20
just
years.
not-
Like for 20 years.
Why haven't you been to Blackberry Farms?
It's expensive.
Oh, okay, I know. I know. That's why it's a dream trip. It's not like a casual
So
trip.
Sarah Chabot,
Okay.
Sarah Elder Chabot, she's like their main marketing gal. Well, at one point she might be. I don't know what she does now, but I've talked with her all the time because she does like she shows AQHA. We were with the same trainer for forever, and then so me and her have been on like weekly meetings right now, setting up for the English versatility
I
stuff.
have not been using our friendship to my fullest advantage.
Yeah, she's all in on Blackberry Farms. She's been there for forever.
Oh my gosh, I've wanted to go to Blackberry Farms literally for 10 years, and I would just never pay for it. But like for
Hey,
a
Sarah.
fun girls trip,
Sarah,
we want to go to Blackberry Farms.
we need to.
We wanna-
This is our ask to be invited, Sarah. Just saying.
I won't say the prices on here, but it's like
I know it's luxury.
no,
it is.
It's not luxury.
luxury.
It's like you could probably purchase a car.
She no, that's the
for
thing.
the
She always
weekend.
told me like all of the famous people that would come there
Yeah.
over the weekend and whatnot. So that's. But like I also just because I knew the prices, I didn't really look at what can you do there. Like what do you,
Oh, I have like been at the point where you like check out 100 times.
what do you do there?
Nothing. You can do like a spa and like walk around, and everybody just like caters to you, like just a mom's dream. Like
Interesting. So I don't know. I do think a do nothing trip
that's what I'm
is
saying.
something we haven't done.
And it's like not far. It's in Georgia
Mm-hmm.
or like south. It's like towards Georgia, I believe. It may not actually be in Georgia. I think it's right there on like the North Georgia line.
Mm-hmm. I think we should do the Vegas trip. That's like with the boys. I would
Yeah.
never go without them, honestly.
Not to Vegas, no.
No,
But
absolutely not.
and they both like enjoy Vegas. Like
Right.
I don't enjoy
Oh,
Vegas.
Jonathan, he loves pulling that little slot machine. He loves getting a little penny
Evan's
slot.
on the crap tables. He'll
So
be yeah,
both of the things that you arguably lose the most money on, probably.
probably. So. That's why we're
Okay.
there to keep that from happening.
Yes.
But we'll be shopping, so
But then, like the show, okay, the only time I've been to Vegas or I've been twice. When I was 13,
why?
because my
Matt and
dad.
Terry.
So SEMA is like a huge like convention there,
Yeah.
and he works in auto parts, and like that was a huge thing for them. They went to Vegas every year for this trip, and it was like a work trip. And so he took me one year with my mom and my nana. And so he stayed like a week later, and we just went and saw like Phantom of the Opera, and we saw Cirque du Soleil, and we went to the Grand Canyon because you can take like a really quick trip,
Yeah.
like on a small plane,
yeah.
and you can go to the Grand. So we went to the Grand Canyon, all that good stuff, Hoover Dam, everything like that. And so we went and did that, and that was a very family trip, Vegas. And then I went to SHOT Show one year, and this was in like 2017, 2018. And I had like no money to spend in Vegas. Like we went there for work, and I didn't have I was there for my own like work opportunities. So no one was taking me there. So it was on my dime still. And so I remember it was just insane. Like I think the first day we got there, Jonathan got sick, and I ordered chicken tenders to the room, and it was $27 for some chicken tenders. And I was like, okay, we can't come back. So we haven't been back since.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think going just for a couple shows,
Yeah. Hang out.
a little
walk around.
shopping,
Not
be
in the
fun.
dead of like summer. Like it's so hot and
Mhm.
stinky.
late spring or something would be nice. So, but that's
Blackberry Farms.
I think a do nothing trip would be great.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Blackberry Farms is the dream trip. We want to preface that. I don't know if that's going to happen anytime
No,
soon.
no. That's why it's called. You said a dream.
You said the dream trip.
What's the dream trip? That's the dream trip.
They want to know how Evan is.
How's Evan? Evan's doing good.
He broke his neck, for those that don't know.
Yeah. So, yeah, if you don't know, my husband fractured his C7 in May of 2025. It was a big deal. He could do nothing for a long time, like literally nothing. So yeah.
So you were the man of the house.
I was the man of the house for quite a while.
Your man of the house videos were funny.
Yeah, I did a lot of videos on like doing husband jobs, and I cannot lie, I got in really good shape. I was like,
You built a table.
yeah,
That was pre.
those mash barrels are like 200 pounds I was moving. That's impressive. It took everything I had, and then I was down for like 2 days, but I got him moved. But yes, he is doing great. He's done a lot of PT. I think we have accepted Evan's neck will never be what it was.
Mm-hmm.
I think he'll always have some chronic pain, which is a bummer. But he's back to working out and building strength, which is helping. And yeah, he's back to full duty at work. So all the things. He was on the job when he got hurt. He was a lineman. So dangerous job.
Right.
This weekend, snow coming in. Keep all the linemen in your thoughts, because he was actually working a storm when he got hurt, and a tree fell on him. Like
As he was driving.
As he was driving, like the tree fell and he was driving, and it just smashed into
He's
the
going
cab.
40 miles an hour. Tree falls at the same time, smashes into him.
him.
It's actually a miracle that he's alive.
The photos are horrific. When I saw the truck in person, I was traumatized.
But then it's so funny. Like, your kids have your same dark humor, and so like the other night, and this has been months ago. Like, your kid's 5, or she's 6 now.
She's
She
six
just
now,
turned 6.
barely 6.
But like this 5-year-old at the time, like I think he came and ate dinner with us, and then was going back out.
He got called out again.
He got called out, and so they were at my house, and we were just sitting around like lounging and eating. And as he's leaving, Kinsley goes, "Don't break her neck, or don't break her neck again, Dad." And he's just like,
"Why would you say that?"
He's like, "Don't break your neck."
She does have my dark humor, but yeah, he's doing good. He can work again, which is ideal. Like work around the farm. I don't have to do everything.
Why? Okay. Why is everyone in here asking about slime?
Oh, because I posted about slime earlier. So, if you didn't know, slime is a parent's, Matt, you'll come to learn this. Slime is a parent's worst nightmare. I'm gonna talk to the camera. If you are a parent sending slime home with other children, like you're gifting slime. I have no words for you. No, it's the worst. It is the absolute worst. Okay, it gets on. Do you know how many kids I've seen get their hair chopped off? Girls with hair chopped up to here because slime touched it one time, and then it like adheres to it. Anyways, so my daughter had some slime in her playroom, hidden slime, in a little container.
So has slime been like a banned substance in your home?
Slime and kinetic sand is not welcome in our home. Never will it be welcome. And so she had the slime. Oh yeah, I opened the playroom door and she went with the slime because she was busted, and she dropped it onto her Barefoot Dreams like shawl that you bought her, and it just stuck to it. And so she's trying to pull it off, and it's just stuck. And there's this bright green blob. Of course, she starts crying. She's like, "I can never have slime again." I was like, "True, you were never supposed to have the slime." So the slime went to the trash. But I found a solution. So if your kid gets into slime, white vinegar. Like, I soaked it in white vinegar and then got boiling hot water and just poured it over it and over it, and it just disintegrated like instantly. So
You're
if
such
your
a
kid,
mom for that, because I would never. I'd be like, "Well, your favorite thing's in the trash now." Like, you're such a mom for being like, "Here's this. I found this remedy." I don't think I'm a remedy finder.
you would find a remedy.
I don't think I'm a remedy finder.
If it's their favorite, if they were crying.
I don't know. I think I'd be like, "Well, that's what you get for slime."
No. So yeah, that works. White vinegar, hot water. Just douse your kid's head and boil it. I'm just kidding. And then the slime will come out. It's full. It is stained, has a green stain on it, but she can live with that.
She can live with a stain.
Yeah.
That'll be like her reminder of
Forever.
her crimes.
Yeah. I came home from school. Another family sent slime home with all the kids. Secret slime.
It's so funny that we're best friends because we're so opposite in so many different ways. And one of the ways that we are opposite is that you're such a good cook and I'm not. So what made you want to be a good cook? Like, what made you get interested in it? Or have you always just known what works? Like, what?
I think what do they call them, Matt? Like something like, what's our generation called where we just let ourselves in the house? Key kids or something like that. Isn't there a term for
I
it?
haven't heard
Feral?
Oh, yeah.
Lock key kids or something.
Latchkey?
Latchkey kids. Latchkey
Never heard
kids.
that.
So basically, like, I got off the school bus.
He's younger than I am.
Sorry.
28,
He's younger than I
Oh, yeah,
am.
I'm thinking of Nate
maybe.
being older. So I think just like me and my brother cooked a lot in the evenings. Like we got home from school and it was just like us.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and in the summers, my parents went to work and it was like
Yeah.
we were just left at home. Like everybody was. So I started cooking then and enjoyed it. And I would make like muffins. Like I'd bake during the day at like 7, 8 years old while my mom and dad were gone. But honestly, this is gonna like sound bad, but like Evan's always like somebody to like cook for him. And so I started learning new recipes. Like when we were dating, like it was like a big thing when he would like, cause he traveled for work. And so he ate out. Like when you live in a hotel room, you eat out every meal.
Yeah, I don't think that sounds bad.
Okay. So like he was in a hotel room 5 days a week.
Yeah,
And then
I want to.
coming home to like real food
Yeah.
was a big deal. Like he did not want to, and it was like a little tension at some point. Cause on the weekends I'd be like, I want to go out. I want to eat out. And he's like, I've ate nothing but food out 3 meals a day for 5 days. So it was just always like I always had a big, nice dinner planned for when he arrived home on Fridays. And this was like while we were dating. And then before he would leave town on Sundays, I'd make him a big, nice meal. And then once we like were engaged and married and things, I started cooking all of his food for the week and just sending it in coolers so he could reheat food in his room.
Yeah.
Instead of eating out 3 meals a day. I mean, obviously to the best you can.
Yeah.
Like pre-made food doesn't always work out, but there were certain things that did well. And so that's what really got me into it, was just like his grandmother is an amazing cook. And so that was kind of like the standard, was like I had to make up for like this true like Southern cooking.
Yeah.
And so I dove off into it, and now, I mean, there's a lot of heavy cooking going on.
I know. I've learned if I want y'all to eat with us or something like that, I have to. There's no like, oh, last minute, because
No.
you've already been cooking for 3 hours.
I would say I cook a minimum of 2 hours a day,
Yeah.
and most meals are planned at least 7 to 10 days in advance.
But you're also so good at that. You need to start a part of your content around your budgeting hacks, because you're so strict with it too. And there's been times where like she sticks to this dollar amount, and if it's like $1 over, she puts away her own, like you put away your own chapstick or your own whatever. Like you stick to this specific budget, and you have this like map of when the deli is on sale for this, when the meat is on, like, I don't know. And so you need to make that a part of your thing.
Yep. I don't know. I've always just like numbers and budgeting.
Is that a part of your thing and I just don't watch your stuff enough?
Oh, not really. No, not the budgeting piece. Because there are weeks that like things happen, especially I feel like more now, like I've taken on more responsibility with content and stuff and more animals, that we might have more like, I don't know what I'm making tonight. Like that does happen more often. But for the most part, no, I'm pretty strict. Like there's no if we're over budget, there's no fun stuff for the week.
Yeah.
Like I'll make cookies at home. We're not getting ice cream.
Right.
Or, whatever it is.
Right. Which y'all are a big ice cream family.
We have dessert every single night, 7 days a week. We have dessert after dinner. But I feel like if you're eating, like the girls eat great. Like they eat vegetables. Like they eat better than you do.
You know what? Most of everybody eats better than I do, so that's fine.
Vegetables. If they were not eating like a protein, like a well-rounded meal, 3 meals a day, I would not let them have dessert every night. But I don't think a little bowl of ice cream hurts every night. I mean, it's not like they're eating a whole cake.
No, yeah.
A little sweet something.
That's probably a little bit better balance too than like depriving, and then you get it one day and then you have to like have the whole.
We did it as sometimes
carton,
foods and all the times foods, because I feel like when I was growing up, my parents like restricted me on like Cokes, and now I'm like a fiend. Like you can't like, because I never got to have it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So when I was like old enough to like go out and buy a Coke, I was
By
like,
the way,
oh,
I'm restocking. I promise.
She's been without Diet Cokes. Have you been feeling it too, Matt?
I know.
No, he went in there. There was no Coke Zero. He likes the Coke Zero.
The zeros.
And there wasn't one, and he had to drink a Pepsi. And
I drank a Pepsi yesterday. Full, all 180 calories of it, straight down the chute. I do like a line in my Diet Coke, and the number of times you've seen me disappointed
because they put a lemon.
Because they put a lemon in it, and I'm like, ugh.
Not the same.
Sonic is Diet Coke with a lime.
Yeah.
Which we ordered Sonic, so it's sitting down there waiting on us right now.
Perfect.
Okay, so another thing is, like, have you seen those videos where it's like, yeah, I don't know what my best friend's favorite color is. I just know her childhood trauma. That's like us.
Us, yeah. We know each other's trauma. We do.
And so one of the things is like, I know so much about you and you know so much about me, but I don't really have faith in how well you know my animals. And one thing that was asked was that I quiz you. So I've already set you up. And I do think there are some, I think you're going to be fine with the horses. that were born within the last that were not born last year. But that's not how kind I'm gonna be. We're gonna be
Thanks.
mean. I don't think you know my goats. I don't think you know the mini cows. I think you know the OG horses and the OG horses only.
Okay.
So I'm gonna pull up a couple pictures.
We're going off pictures.
We're going off of pictures.
Oh, okay.
Is that good? Is that worse or?
That's way worse. I thought you were gonna say like who's so and so's baby.
Oh no. We're going off of pictures. All right.
It's gonna be so bad.
Okay.
I do like her. Okay.
Who's this? Yes.
Good.
I guess you don't have to write it. I guess you could just say it.
I can just say it. Okay.
I guess you could just say it. I guess the writing is more for if there's multiple people.
Okay. I'll just say it. It's
Okay.
B.
It's B. You're right. Okay. She gets one. She gets one. Let me screenshot her.
I think it's gonna be the foals that get me.
Say less. Hold on.
If there was less of them, this would be easier.
There was 8 of them last year, and there's gonna be a lot of them this
They
year.
were all red. Do you want me
Does Matt even know who these are?
Not a shot. Not a shot.
is this was that last year?
I don't know.
I
Was
couldn't
it?
tell you if it was last year or this year.
It was last year. Who is that? Who is that?
Not
The
a
mayor-
I
shot.
kept it too.
You kept it?
I kept it.
It's Ted.
I didn't keep Ted.
Oh. No, Ted went to
She went.
Matt. No?
No.
Who did?
Ruby went to Madeline.
Okay. So it's I'm getting flustered. It's Ted. It's not Huckleberry. It's not Noel.
The last one.
I was the last one born. Who was the mom?
Happy. I'm just giving you all the freaking.
Oh, it's I wanted to name her Bunny. What's her name? It's Millie.
It is Millie.
Millie. You kept Millie?
Yes.
Oh.
She's my favorite one out of the group. They don't see what I see. Nobody believes me with who's the nicest.
I'm not saying it wasn't nice.
Okay.
It just wasn't my fave.
All right. So we're going to go to that stumped you. That stumped you. You're not going to get this one.
I might. Squirt.
Who's this?
Starts with a P.
Of course it does, because they all start with a P. Don't even play that. Who's that?
Penelope.
No. There's no cow named Penelope.
That was my
Buck.
guess.
Hang on.
Get back in your corner.
That was my guess.
Who'd you say?
I said that was my guess.
It's not peanut. No, hang on. It starts. I know.
You're like, it starts with a P. We know.
I know. I think it's peanut.
You saw me.
No, I said peanut.
You saw
before.
me.
I thought. Well, what's the little brown one's name?
That's Peanut.
That's not the little brown one. The little
This is
chocolate one.
Peanut.
Why is she that color?
Because she grew.
I haven't seen her. In a
She
minute.
grew up. That was her like last week.
I thought she was like a chocolate colored.
You're thinking of a different one.
What's the chocolate colored ones?
Okay, who's that?
That's the one I'm talking about.
Okay, who is it?
Posy.
Okay, that's Posey. You're right.
Just pulled that straight. Like I knew it wasn't Poppy or Petunia or Pippa. I know them very well.
Okay.
No.
Who's this?
It's Kirby.
Okay. Yeah, that is Kirby.
You don't have very many bays.
Okay, we're gonna get off of those. I think it's the goats that mostly get you. No, you're not gonna be able to tell between my donkeys. There's no way.
No.
There's no way.
I can tell you Dolly. If you give me all 3 in a row,
Who's that?
it's Blanche.
No.
She had blue. Look at her eyes.
It's
Blue
just
eyes.
Snowy
Oh, okay.
in this picture.
Well, it's not Dolly, so it's Dorothy.
It is Dorothy.
Process of elimination.
That
Okay.
is true. You can do that with a lot of my stuff. Okay, we're gonna only just do one more, and you're just not gonna get it. Already
What if
know.
I do though?
I know with so certainty that you're not
What year was it born?
last year.
Test me. Oh, it's Merida.
How did you get that?
Well, look at the screen. It says Merida on the picture. Thanks. That's how I got it.
Well,
I
you
would
did
have
better
never
than I
guessed
thought.
that. I was gonna say Leona, but Leona's like
that's her grandma.
1,000
I'm gonna do
plus.
one more goat just because I want
leave the
you to
goats out
fail.
of this.
Just because I want you to fail. Like chicken. See if the name is on there.
It's Blossom or Buttercup?
Which one?
It's Blossom.
It is. I hate you.
She thinks I don't know her at all.
I thought for sure because you like to play this game. Like you're like, I'm too cool. I don't watch your stuff. I don't know your
don't watch your
animals. And so
It's just the foals. They all looked the same last year. You have to admit.
they did not.
Noelle and Kirby were the only two that didn't look the same.
Once they got to like 2-3 months old and they were like shed out a little bit, they all looked so different.
Matt, besides Noelle and Kirby, do they not all look like red?
I'm probably worse off than you. Like I don't see horse color. I just see a
He's
horse.
he's horse colorblind.
These horse colors, they're all yellow.
I see
All of my
horse.
mares are happy or
Yeah, go grab into the pasture and grab the red horse. Okay, that's all of them. -3.
Last year they really got me. I don't know why last year's were.
we've expanded in color.
That is true.
We now have some grays and some
Yeah.
buckskins
you have
and
to
But they all have red babies, so it doesn't matter.
That's what I'm saying. They were all red.
we have so the baby that Raven's carrying could be gray. It's not going to come out gray though.
No.
Next year we're going to have like possible colored babies. Like we might have some like buttercups. We might have some buckskins.
Yeah.
We might have some palominos. We might have maybe a lot more white on them, like that thing.
Yeah.
Next year. But okay, well you
didn't
beat it. So I did say there was gonna be a little bit of news. We'll end this out with this. So I'm gonna be a little vague, I guess. But I just want to. I'm so excited about it that I want to tell people because I have a lot of people being like, "You just have all these horses and you don't ride." It's not because I don't want to. Trust me. So I've mentioned that we have like an on-site trainer coming. She's starting in February. We're going to be breaking, Molly and Daphne and Wally all on property. It's going to be really, really cool to see. It's going to be fun to have someone helping keep the riding horses legged up. So, riding Kennedy, riding Ethel, right? Annie, I think is going to have a break. So, Annie be back into riding, those kinds of horses. Gracie. I think Grace will be fun. And so with that being said, I'll have these horses to ride at home that will have me back in, the swing of things. And I got this opportunity to, I'm not going to say it's going to be long term, but that I could buy this horse and show it. And it was kind of a, hey, this is an older horse, been there, done that. We know that Denver is up and coming and that he's probably not going to be showing the Western riding with you this year because he's like being finished. And, if you want to dip your toe back into Western riding, into trail, like those kinds of things, this would be a really cool horse. You should try it. And so, and then, you could train under this person that you've respected for a really long time. And so I said, yes. And I get to go meet this horse and ride it for the first time in, I think, if all the mares start cooperating at some point, we'll go ride it for a little bit in February and then go back in March and then show in April. So I'm not just going to be showing Denver. I'm not just going to be going and watch. Like we have Penelope and Wheezy to watch this year. I have a horse that I'll be showing in the Western riding and the trail. Oh, that only. It's an older horse. They don't want it to be shown to death. Like it's just,
I'm excited.
It's a kind of a, not to say it's going to be easy because horses are horses, they're animals, right? But this horse knows its job super well, and it'll be a way for me to gain confidence back in the arena, get back in there, have one that isn't a baby, because while Western riding was probably my strength, like Western riding and equitation were my strengths. And like I've been top 10 at the Congress every year I've shown in it, except it's been 10 years.
Yeah.
10 years is a long freaking time. And so to get back into it before I show Denver, this is going to be a really cool opportunity. So that's all I'm giving you for right now. But it's going to be fun.
And the
So.
horse's name is
I'm really excited. It's going to be a little bit of a surprise. But yeah, I think that's it for today. Thank you for last minute
You're welcome.
jumping out of the shower and coming over to be on this because we're struggling this week. And hopefully Raven has her baby before this is aired. Like if she hasn't, I don't even know. I'm like, she's 341 days today. So she's overdue.
There's like a storm coming in tonight.
We're
Not
having-
thunder, lightning. But
She's
like
going to wait till we have snow.
snow, and it's like miserable.
Yes, absolutely. So hope y'all enjoyed today's episode. Buck, welcome to the team. If you have any questions for Buck specifically for next week, let us know. And I hope y'all have a great time. And I hope you enjoyed the episode. See you later.